Hi everybody and welcome to this week's edition of Property Chat. This week we're talking about the single most important thing when you're selling a property. Stand by. Hi everybody, welcome back to this week's edition of Property Chat. The first thing I would like to say is thank you so much to everybody that's taken the time to sponsor us. Even if it's only £5, we are so grateful. And most of all, it's about the encouragement that you give us. And those of you who don't know, we're Sleeping Rough for the Homeless on behalf of Centrepoint. The big sleep out is happening in November. It's going to be freezing cold. There are 5 of us doing it. Please do help and sponsor us. The link's coming up now. Most grateful. Now on to today's topic. What I want to talk to you about today is pricing. The most underestimated thing. Pricing is everything. I'll give you an example. Just recently we took on a property in Streatham Vale. This property was a gorgeous house and we put it on the market at $525,000. We thought that was the right price. We had 20 viewings and the viewings were quite good feedback, but actually we didn't get any bites. So I called the client back and said, look, it seems that we're not really getting anywhere. Would you consider changing the price? And obviously the client was like, well, why should we do that? I said, let me explain. So the situation is nowadays with Rightmove, it has price points so that, let's imagine that you're searching for a property in SW16. If you go and dial in a price range, you'll find that you can't dial in a price at $525,000 because the increments at that level are in 50,000 parts. So in other words, by pitching it at $525,000, we would never appear on page 1 of a search on Rightmove. This is one of the critical things, is making sure that your property is exposed to as many people as possible. So by changing the price to $500,000, all of a sudden we're page 1. So we did that with a vendor's permission and started to market. We had a huge influx of responses, so many viewings, it's unbelievable. And we ended up with people competing, and actually the price we ended up getting offers that were almost at the $525,000 level by starting the price at $500,000. So it's a myth that you don't always get the asking price. Sometimes you can even get beyond it. And I know there are those of you out there that are thinking, yeah, but I know if I set the price at that level, people will come in lower. Let me tell you something. If you get viewers that are keen and they perceive that your property is better than others, they will offer what they think it's worth and they will compete with others. Because the other thing is, while the market is slow and not as slow as you might expect, but a lot of people think that that means that you have to really drop the price through the floor. That's not necessarily the case, but you do have to get that pricing correct, because without that, you won't get viewings, and without viewings, you won't get a sale, and if you don't get a sale, you can't do what you want to do and move on. And the key thing you'll find is that once you're under offer, we always say that everyone thinks, oh yeah, but I won't be able to find what I want at the price I want to pay. Listen, we all want something that's best value, but in this market, bottom line, if you can find something you like, the chance of it being at a similar discount to yours or better is very strong. And if you're moving up market, because we're talking percentages when the market drops, actually any drop is in your favour. And I firmly believe now things are starting to look like Brexit's coming to an end and we might actually get a deal. It certainly looks like we will get a deal one way or another. I suspect that prices are going to surprise people next year and start to really solidify. And as soon as we see where Brexit's going, the election's gone, I think you'll see a jump in prices. And the reason I think that is because it seems to me that over the last 3 years when I'm going to see people, lots of people are just unsure. They're a little bit anxious. They're, oh, I'm not sure. Should I move? Should I not? Prices are a little bit lower than I'd like to see. But the bottom line is that that's also true of what you're buying. And if you consider that the move really shouldn't just be about the money that you're selling for, it should be critically about the difference between what you're selling for and what you're buying for. That's the cost of the move. Because actually, other than that, it's paper, isn't it? If you move at the same price, then actually if you're moving from 500,000 in one area to 500 in another, doesn't matter if it's 400, provided you have the equity. You sell at 400 to buy at 400. What's the difference? There's no money actually achieved. What you've achieved is the move you want. And if you really want to move, then the importance of pricing correctly cannot be underlined enough. Hope you found this helpful this week, and thank you again for your sponsorship donations. Please help us to sleep out for the homeless. Thanks for watching. See you next week.